Welcome to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined, with your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin. On this podcast, we bring you people who share their personal journeys in life, business, and of course, real estate. Get motivated, inspired, and priceless information from entrepreneurs, community leaders, and realtors who are thriving. Now let's get raw and real. Here's Betsy.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host today, Betsy Tinnervin. You can't get away from me. We are with you every weekend, bringing you the raw and real of real estate, sponsored by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. Of course, we're going to give the one and only Robert Palmer a shout out today as he makes all of this possible. LPT agents have the opportunity, even on 100% commission plan, to be featured on the radio, to bring in their ecosystem, to promote people in the community. They also get free billboards and 168 pieces of marketing material for every listing. I am super excited today because since LPT has such a great vibe and culture, I have gotten to know Miss Yvonne Reyes with the Lux Group pretty well. Right, Yvonne?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you again for having us.
And I think it's really cool. Like, you and I have just kind of got to know each other outside of real estate as we just talk about normal life things. I think it started when you showed up in the studio one day.
Yes.
And you came here. They said, hey, this lady is going to come in. She just wants to see, what's going on. And you showed up with like 15 people. And I was like in the middle of a show and there's like lights flashing and like you're the hype man in the background. And from that moment, I really saw who you were as a person and just that you really do want other people to win in the industry.
Most definitely. That's the only way up.
And so since that occurred, I have had the honor of having some of your agents on my show, which Yvonne Reyes runs a team here in the Tampa Bay area. They obviously do bleed out into Central Florida and cover kind of a wide span. Her group is the Lux Group, and you are going through like some transition and some different changes. And I really, during this show, maybe about segment 3, we won't give them all the secrets, want to dive into your plans for 2023 is just as a team lead and kind of what you think is going to happen in the market.
Oh, most definitely.
And what's cool about the radio is you have people like Yvonne, and what we do with our agents is we want to bring to all the listeners out there not just raw and real of real estate, but raw and real of entrepreneurship, business, and what is going on and kind of on and popping in the community in Tampa. So you have 2 guests here today, right, Yvonne?
I sure do.
And we're going to go around and kind of just let them introduce ourselves. So I'm going to start with Armando Pantoja. Did I say that name correctly?
Exactly right.
Yes. Okay, awesome. So Armando, I kind of got a little blippet of what you do, and you're definitely into like kind of the crypto space and stock, but then what you've done is you kind of use that to like purchase real estate.
Yeah, so my background's in software. I had a software company here in Tampa Bay. We sold it in 2017 for a multi-million-dollar sum. And since then, I've been investing in crypto, real estate, stocks, and other investments. I take that money and invest in it. So you're right. So that's what I do now.
I love that. And why jump into crypto?
My background was that the company that we sold was actually a crypto company. So in it before then. But crypto, I just have very, very strong beliefs about it. I know the market's down now. I know there's a lot of fear and anxiety going on, but crypto has a 4-year cycle. It happens every 4 years, right? So what we do in me and my investors in my group is we take advantage of what's called a 4-year cycle in crypto where there's ups and downs. There's a boom cycle for 18 months. There's a bear cycle for 18 months. There's a lull period. There's another bull cycle. So we buy at the lows and sell at the highs. It's a simple concept, but it's made us a lot of money.
The one thing I can definitely relate on is kind of comparing it to real estate. So obviously, my team is investment based. And what's crazy is you have these agents that will try to sell, investments to people and they don't have any investment experience. So from what you're describing with crypto, it's very similar because you can get into any industry and lose. If you can't assess risk versus rate of return, you lose.
And you got to have experience because you have to know, even real estate has market cycles. You have to have experienced the cycle emotionally to be able to understand it.
What
tell
comes
somebody
up
else
must
about
come
it.
down.
Exactly.
It's like right now, and people are like, we're not in a recession. I'm like, honey, let's talk about the government, okay? I'm like, milk is $5 a gallon, and it's like $80 to fill up my Mercedes. We're in a recession. And the only way to fight, inflation is with inflation. So
Exactly.
prices have to go up. So, yeah, I'm going to cycle back to you later on. We can't give everybody all the goods, Armando, but we're going to cycle back into kind of that full cycle for you. But I definitely appreciate the honesty and candidness. I do want to ask you the $1 million question about the guy, the crypto guy, the company crashed. I mean, bro.
Yeah. But the thing about it is the crypto crashed, right? Crypto, we already predicted a crash. It happens every 4 years, 18-month bull cycle. It was coming down anyway.
But the guy, they
But
were like kids.
this
man.
is what happens in any crash. Whenever there's a crash, the market recedes. Whoever's been out there swimming naked is exposed.
For sure.
And that's what he was doing. He was over leveraged. He had a lot of stuff going on. When the market came down, he wasn't covered by that anymore. So you're able to see everything he was doing. That's all it was.
And basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I read and I studied, that basically, he had all these people invest in this company, and then he was trading that money.
Yeah.
And then when it came to like show cards, it's kind of like in real estate, like, let me
Exactly.
see what's in your escrow account. He didn't have it.
He didn't have it, right? It was over leveraged. He leveraged it to try to make more money, got greedy.
So people started trying to cash
The
out, and
withdrawals
then it was.
Yeah, so he don't have it.
So what are you following this story? Like,
yeah, deeply.
So what's happening with him right now?
So now he tried to go on a run. I think he tried to go overseas somewhere. He's in the Bahamas, tried to leave there. They called him, and then they're trying to first recover the funds. They found out what happened. So they're trying to recover the user funds, but he's going to go to jail because he did a lot of fraudulent things. His whole team was incredibly corrupt. They were just a bunch of kids that thought they could do whatever they wanted.
Later in the show, I think that you should give people like tips and tricks of getting into the investment space, period, just the right way. Listeners, we're not going to give that to you right now. You have to stay with us. I'm going to turn over to my guy, Stefan Marcellin. Did I say that right?
You did. You said it
I
right.
am like 3 for 3 today, man. And I think that we have tons of things to talk about. You are a local real estate investor in Tampa Bay. You do fix and flips, buy and holds. You also have a couple of Airbnbs. So you're kind of like jack of all trades, but all in the same space. That's why I appreciate your hustle. Because the people that are like, I have 55 businesses, I'm like, that's cool. Which one do you actually know about? None, really. So you just do real estate.
Yeah, I just do real estate. And I also have a car rental company as well.
Okay, cool.
So I kind of like interject the two with Airbnbs. And then if you need a car, I'll give you like a 10% incentive if you get a car from me as well. So,
I love that. It's like full service.
Yeah, it's full service, one-stop shop here in Tampa Bay.
Okay, cool. Why real estate?
So my background, I was a structural iron worker in New York City.
Okay.
So I was building a lot of the high rises. I built Barclays Center, the Freedom Tower in Manhattan, all of those. And my uncle noticed, like I got into the union pretty young. So, I was spending money pretty recklessly. And my uncle was pretty much like, hey, you got to stop, invest your money. So we decided to create like an LLC. We started a company.
And how old are you when you did that?
I was 25.
And yeah, union work, I'm from Chicago originally, so I know you're making $25 an hour, bro, like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah. So we got it. We started a company. We bought our first property. With our construction background, we renovated it ourselves, sold that, and then we ventured out to Waterbury, Connecticut.
Okay.
That's more of like a multifamily market. So, we took the profits from that, went to Waterbury, Connecticut, remodeled that property ourselves, refinanced that, rented it out, the game.
It's a cycle, man.
It's a cycle.
And it's so cool because real estate is like the sexiest asset in America, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't care what anybody says. You can do this, that, whatever. That's all I've done forever. Yeah. And I think that it's really cool to see somebody like yourself kind of master that. And I really want to dive deep in segment 2, just more about what you love about it, why you do it, and how you've kind of mastered it, and give the listeners out there some tips and tricks. If someone wants to get a hold of you, could you give them your number?
Absolutely. Give them my Instagram as well.
Go ahead.
Steph Latta Properties is STEPH_Latta, LOTTA_properties.
Perfect. And Mr. Armando, if someone wants to connect with you on how to do crypto the right way, and then later on, we're also going to explain just about how you also intertwine that with real estate. Could you give them a good contact number?
Yeah, so I'll give you my Instagram, Tall Guy Tycoon, TALLGUYTYCOON, and that's the same across any social media platform. So we talk about stocks, crypto, investing mindset, and the ability to judge investments and like analyze what's the risk and reward. So
Awesome. And Yvonne Reyes, give them those digits.
Here you go, 727-489-4211. Save that for the books.
More information to come on real estate investing, the Lux Group. We want everyone out there to know how to do things the right way. So we're going to talk about risk versus rate of return, why a lot of us on this show have chosen to do real estate investing. Also, just for anyone out there that is interested in that crypto space, we're going to dive a little bit deeper on what Armando thinks is really going to happen in 2023, as well as what he's done with crypto and how he's intertwined that in real estate. Download the iHeartRadio app. And now, listeners, remember, you can find us on Facebook at the LPT All-Star Radio Show, where we are going to have links to every past and previous show for you to replay. Download the iHeartRadio app. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll catch you after the break.
The best comp plans ever in stock and revenue share, but if we're not closing real estate transactions, all of that is worthless, because ultimately everything starts with a real estate transaction, which starts with a consumer. And so we wanted to arm our agents with the absolute best technology and best marketing tools to do more real estate. And that's, again, I think a big differentiator. I think very few brokerages really sit down and say, how do we provide tools to make sure that our agents can be more productive, sell more real estate, win more listings, win at more listing appointments, help more buyers find that home. And we're very focused on that. And so while we have the best comp plans and the best ways for agents to generate wealth and earn, we also have the best tools, and more importantly, I would say have the best tools to help you be successful in real estate.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, and we are live with a vibe today as we are talking to Armando, crypto, stocks, and NFTs in real estate. And then we are awesome with Mr. Stefan Marcellin, who we are going to definitely jive on risk versus rate of return in the real estate game, as he is a local Tampa Bay investor. And then we have large and in charge, Yvonne Reyes with the Lux Group, who is here to kind of back all of that up and put that together, as she is an LPT agent and team lead. And she too herself works with a ton of investors in the Tampa Bay community. So if you're listening today, you're definitely going to get a wealth of knowledge. I know, just to wrap up segment one, we talked a little bit crypto, Armando, and I asked you about the whole crazy case going on right now, and you gave everyone a little bit of advice. But what I really want you to give the listeners is how to do this the right way and how you incorporate it with real estate.
Okay, so I want to touch on a little bit how to do it the right way. It's because crypto is a vast market, right? I think at the last count I saw it's like 25,000 cryptos, right? And a lot of people see the whole market as all of it's equal. It's not equal. Some have more risk, some have less risk, some have more reward, some have less reward. So I kind of stick to the cryptos that have been around a while. They've been kind of like Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, some of the top ones. XRP is one that I think it could do well. It's in a lawsuit now too, but it's still at one of the top cryptos. And I believe in those. Like a lot of the new ones that come out, crypto is ripe for fraud. And I'm not saying the entire market is fraud, because I believe in it wholeheartedly, but it's a new market. There's no regulation. And also there's a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money. That's a recipe for criminals and fraudsters to come in and try to take money. And that's
so if I said I'm going to be a first-time cryptoer tomorrow, what do I do?
So this is what I would do. I would stick to the top three: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Just stick to those. I would really stick to the top two: Bitcoin, Ethereum. Buy some a little bit at a time. Make sure you understand what you're buying, not only how to buy it, how to safely store it, but also what it does and why. What's the case for it going up? What's the investment case? Like, why is it going to go up in value? Research that and understand all of those things before you continue down the path of looking at other cryptocurrencies.
And then what are you doing merging the crypto into real estate?
Okay, so one of the benefits of cryptocurrency is what the underlying technology is called blockchain technology. What it does is that when I send you a Bitcoin, it stores that transaction, that data forever. And that's the power of cryptocurrency. It's not me sending money back and forth. It's the technology under it. It's like a database that can't be stopped. It can't be deleted, can't be destroyed. It's there all the time. And it's distributed all over the world. That's the power of cryptocurrency. That's why it's going up in value. But we can also use that system to store other things. Like if I own a house, Like, who owns this house? Well, that data can be stored on the blockchain. So if it's on the blockchain,
I know
it's there
that's
forever.
we got to talk about these NFTs, right? Got these cartoon monkeys, and I was in PR, man, and this little 25-year-old kid said, "I sold this monkey." I said, "I'm sorry, you sold what?" He said, "This cartoon character." I said, "Okay," and he said, "And I sold it for like $500,000."
Yeah.
I was like, "Bro, one, who is buying the monkey? And two, why is it worth $500,000? And I need an in-depth, I need help. So like, help me with that."
Those, I never believed in that type of NFT. But the trouble is most people understand that is what NFTs are.
Right.
That's not what they are. NFT is a way to uniquely and undoubtedly attach ownership to something, whether it's a real world or a physical asset, right? So the first use case that everybody saw of that was those monkeys and those sheep and those goats. Oh, if I want to say,
Armando, you have to laugh though, bro.
I always said it was fun.
So do you own a monkey or a sheep or a
one.
goat?
Never bought one. Never. Like,
I know.
didn't
What's
believe
the
in
most
that.
expensive monkey or sheep or goat you know about, bro?
Millions.
That's insane.
Yeah, but I never believed in that application. But the
Okay.
NFT concept is strong. Like, what's the biggest problem in real estate that I experience is the title search. Why is it so hard to find titles? It should just all be in one central database, right?
I get that. We're definitely next segment going to circle back to, you're not going to want to miss this because we're going to do the NFT concept and how Armando really applies it to real estate. But I'm going to turn to you, Yvonne, that it is important for us agents to continue to be educated on these types of currency because there are people purchasing real estate with crypto. Explain why you think that's important and what you're doing as a team lead to stay on top of just the market and financial markets.
Obviously, as I always stress, relationships. We are in a relationship building business. I'll be honest, for the past 3-4 years, like I've been trying to grasp and educate myself. I've taken courses. It still hasn't clicked. However, that's why I have partners like Mr. Armando, that are educating, that know it. So when I do have clients, they're right on and can give me factual information.
And you have options because we've seen a lot in the Miami area, especially people making full-fledged real estate purchases with crypto.
Most definitely. I actually had a client purchase an $8 million condo, all off of crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's virtual. I just want to know, did he sell a sheep or a monkey or a goat to get that property too?
Listen, it was a monkey. And when I tell you, I'm like, are you kidding me? 32 years old. I'm like, man, what we didn't know back then.
And there are some people that are winning, and there are some people, I look at crypto as like, if I went to the casino and I bet on black or red and I win, bro, I'm cashing out, dog. Like, give me my money. And it sounds like that guy with 8 million, whatever monkeys or sheeps or goats he sold, he cashed out and got himself an asset. And that's really what I want to talk a lot about in this show is how some people have won in different games and now maybe they are transitioning into more of a secure, asset, which I think is really cool.
Most definitely.
So I'm going to turn to my boy, Stefan. What's going on, kid?
Doing good.
So I am obsessed with real estate, dude. Like it's a real life addiction. If they had like a real estate rehab, I should check in.
Nah, I'd be checking in with you.
We might make a lot of money. We could own the rehab. We could see what I'm saying. Like that's the problem where your mind goes, bro. So yeah, I want to just talk a little bit about what you kind of do in Tampa. And what I really want to give to the listeners that's important is what we were talking about over the break, just how we analyze kind of a good deal and what your personal buy box is. So tell me what your buy box is.
So I'm similar to what you were suggesting before. I'm usually looking for a deal that has like a spread of about $100,000. So, and I focus on primarily like opportunity zones. So I'm investing a lot in South Tampa, Seminole Heights, all of those areas that are in Tampa Bay is obviously because of the tax incentives. So I've done, I could give you a breakdown of a flip that I'm working on right now.
Okay.
So
break it on down.
So I purchased this property. It's in South Tampa, South St. Pete. It's about a mile away from downtown St. Pete. And as you know, South St. Pete is probably not the greatest neighborhood.
I got 9 units over there, kid. I like it. It's growing for me.
A lot of people are afraid of it, but me, I thrive on it. I'm like, there's so many gems here. So price was 263. ARV is about 690, and I put 180 into it.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You're making a little money. No, I agree. I like the conversation too about South St. Pete. What's crazy as being a real estate investor is the big guys don't lie, is what I say. So like when Blackstone is buying up South St. Pete, that's cool if you don't like it, but they're not idiots. So I also think when you look at South St. Pete over in Lealman, when Amazon and Tesla both drop their companies there, someone's successful at Amazon.
Yeah,
and I mean, Tesla's, they're making a little cash. So I agree with you. I definitely want to jump in segment 3 with everybody just on market trends. I also want to bring to the listeners how Armando takes something like crypto that is in this virtual space and makes it reality in real estate. So Yvonne, can you give everyone your phone number, please, if they want to contact you?
Yes, 727-489-4211.
And Mr. Armando, how could anyone find you on the internet?
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Tall Guy Tycoon. That's TALLGUYTYCOON.
And my real estate investor, Mr. Stefan, how can they get in touch with you?
Instagram is Steph Lotta Properties, Steph_Lotta, LOTTA_properties, and also on the wealthandrealestate.org.
I love this. Today, we're bringing you a wealth of knowledge of just a lot about real estate investing, why it's important to have a realtor that knows about investing, what it's like for somebody like Yvonne Reyes with the Lux Group to network with these people and keep her agents educated on things like cryptocurrency, because buying real estate in 2023 is going to be a game changer. Lots of virtual action, lots of virtual money action. Also, awesome to hear from someone like Armando who has been successful in the crypto stock world, how to do it the right way. He's honestly being raw and real with everyone out there, and he's going to bring us more knowledge when you come back that there are things that are unsafe about the crypto world and how he's winning doing it the right way. He wants to share that with everybody. It sounds like also he has some speaking events and engagements. And Stefan, our Tampa Bay investor, please come back after the break. More information to come. We're going to pay some bills and we'll be right back.
Biggest win, I think, with the dual path and having these two models is that now we become a brokerage for everyone. No matter where you are in your real estate career, what your goals are today, maybe today you're not interested in recruiting or having a team, but then one day you wake up and you are. Well, if you're at the wrong brokerage to do that, you're locked in. Where in our model, we're not holding anyone hostage. We're not tying anyone in. You can move between the different comp plans and have that success and really achieve whatever your definition of success is under one brokerage platform, being LPT.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, and segments 1 and 2 were fire. Like straight fire today. If you're listening, we're doing all things real estate, all things investments. Yvonne Reyes, our one and only LPT agent who runs the team, the Lux Group in Tampa Bay. She is here with me. She's brought in 2 guests, and she just really wants to educate other agents out there and other people in the world about real estate investing, crypto, the right way to do it. I definitely have to come back to my guy Armando, who I just really appreciate your candidness, because I think that people that I would purchase something from or work with are people that are raw and real. And I love what you said about crypto, like, hey, there's a right way to do it. There's a wrong way to do it. We've actually talked about some of the fraudulent things going on. But what I promised the listeners in segment 3 was that we were going to talk about the NFT concept and even how you yourself really couldn't grasp that with the monkeys and the sheep and the goats. But now you've kind of created that concept with the real estate. So it's all you, kid. Walk them through it.
Okay, so we talked about the title search, that being a problem in real estate, but that a lot of problems can be solved in real estate with NFTs, right? Because what an NFT does, it just uniquely identifies somebody as the owner of whatever this is, right? We can attach that to a property, right? And there's really 3 reasons why we want to do that. One is easier to transfer. You talked about earlier, Yvonne, about somebody buying something in crypto, right? But you have to go through the normal process to convert that over. Once a property is an NFT, you just send the NFT to that person's wallet. Now they own the property and anything else associated with that. That makes it easier to transfer, right? 2 is that you can tokenize it. Tokenization is being able to take something like a house, right? Traditionally, only one person can buy a house, only one person can profit from a house. If you tokenize it, because it is divisible, 100 people can own a house and they all can profit from it. They all can decide on what to do with that property. So that's another.
So we got to
benefit
break
for
it
them.
down for people though, right? Because if you don't know about that, that is like a bunch of word vomit.
Okay, sorry about that.
So let's say, no, I'm following you.
So it's like
Let's
a
take
pizza.
out-
We cut
okay.
a pizza into 1,000.
Well, we can't
20
cut the house.
pizzas.
So like we buy the
We
house,
can cut
right?
the investment, I guess, equity into
Okay.
many pieces.
So walk them through that. So if Stefan buys a house, how do we turn it into the NFT?
So, okay, so I buy a house, right? So the steps that you do is that you have to take the house, you put it into an LLC, and the LLC itself becomes the NFT. So now any asset under the LLC, whenever you transfer the NFT, which is like ownership of something, that person who owns the NFT now owns anything under that, which includes the LLC and the houses.
Okay. One question I know people would have, how do you guarantee that that LLC or NFT is not associated with any other debt outside of that property?
Now that you still have to do that legally. You can't.
But that's a good question, though. You're proud of me?
Yeah.
I'll get you because I know you know what you're talking about. So see, I only can go hard in the paint with people that I know. Like you came right back at the answer, but you see what I'm saying? Because see, we run into that in real estate, right? I've done real estate deals where the cool thing about doing a complex where you sell the LLC is the taxes don't reset.
Exactly.
And that is clutch when you're talking 20, 30 grand. So you're talking 56 units. Now I'm going to involve that LLC for $1. And so now it doesn't change ownership on tax records.
Exactly.
So in my mind, I'm following this with the monkeys and the sheep and the goats. Now we've made it a piece of property. So I'm following you.
Take that goat and put a house into it. Now,
Okay, so now I got the
NFT
house.
is not the goat.
Right.
That's what people don't understand. That's just a picture. The NFT is attached to the goat.
Okay.
So the NFT says, look, Armando owns this goat.
Right.
Right. So now take the goat out, put a house in there. Now the NFT.
Yeah,
says
so
it
that,
owns
now
the
we've
house.
created an LLC though. So
Exactly.
now I've moved that LLC. So even when we do that with a piece of property, we then legally make sure that there's nothing else associated
Still
in
have to
that
go through
LLC.
Same
Okay.
way you do it before. You still have to do that because
Okay.
legally they recognize LFTs yet. So we're still very, very early in this process. But by transferring to an NFT, you do two things. You create a premium pricing because it was a house in Tampa. It was the first NFT house ever sold. It sold for almost 3 times as much as the value. But I think the house was worth like $350,000. They sold it for almost $1 million because it was an NFT and it was easily transferable. And two is because of what we call tokenization, is the ability to take that house like a pizza, separate into many parts, and 100 people own the equity in the house, and they're able to benefit and decide what to do with that property.
I'm with it. I'm following.
So it's like bringing democracy to real estate, right? Is that because a lot of people don't have the real estate capital to put into it. A lot of people don't, right? A lot of people only got $500,000 or something like that. Now they can buy a piece of a house and invest and make the same rate of return as a large investor would.
I love that. I'm all about, different syndications, buying different things. I'm going to turn to my guy, Stefan.
I had a question for him though.
Oh, go.
So if you were to sell that property at that NFT, do you still get royalty from that property?
That's a good point because the NFT, that's another benefit of NFT is you can program it like you can program a computer to do certain things. Like he's talking about his royalties. You can actually program an NFT that says every time this NFT is sold, I need 5% from that sale to the original owner. So from going forward, every time that property is sold, the original owner can receive royalties from that going forward. So you could do a lot of things because now it's like having a title to a house or something that you can program. So I could say anything. I could say, look, in 100 years, return it back to my grandchildren, or take 1% and send it to charity every time this house is sold. And you could program anything into that contract the NFT contract that represents that house. Well, it's a lot of possibilities for it in the future, a lot. We're very, very early, maybe 10,
for sure.
10 years ahead, before it's actually.
And I think it's cool just how
mainstream.
you're applying it to that, but then you're also really giving people, not only listeners today, but in like the course you're doing, like how to do it the right way. So I definitely do appreciate that. Stefan, as far as back to like flipping and buying holds and all those different things. So do you go into every deal that you do with an exit strategy on the back end?
Yes. So my exit strategy is typically to refinance, or I'm looking for a property that will have a good rental income, or if I'm in like a more prominent area, then I can Airbnb. That's usually my exit strategy.
So you know from the beginning whether you're going to hold it or sell it.
Yeah, majority of the time I'm doing a fix and flip. I love doing fix and flips. I feel like it's a lot more difficult to do a fix and flip than to just do a new construction, because you're kind of going over something that was built in the
Agree,
20s.
1000%.
You have to have a creative mind to be able to do that as well. Because I'm taking these flips and I'm moving a kitchen to this room and creating new bathrooms here and so on and so forth. And I just have like a real creative mind for doing things like that.
It's hard to polish a turd, but not to just produce one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard. Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that also we're running into issues now where we really have to pad our analysis because of the cost of materials and labor.
Right.
Are you struggling with that as well?
Yeah.
The struggle is real.
Yeah, the struggle is definitely real, especially with the lumber prices right now.
It's crazy. If someone wants to get a hold of you as far as investing or flipping or any of that, could you give everyone your phone number?
Yeah, I could give him my phone number.
Okay. Or your contact information.
347-348-3755.
And I'm going to turn to you, Yvonne, because I know that with all of these fix and flippers out there, we have a listing power pack. And you're utilizing that when you list properties. Talk about how anybody out there may be investing or getting ready to list can definitely utilize your services because of the marketing on the back end with their listing.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Matter of fact, we use Stefan's off market right now in Gulfport, and actually two of them. One, we had a vacant land, but I put the new engineered home build on there, and it sold literally the same week. So we're taking that listing pack, going door knocking in that same area, getting the clients literally that are wanting in that area, and also getting the neighbors to come see the area, and then they're bringing more listings. But definitely.
And what other brokerage offers that tool, Yvonne?
None. I'm telling you guys, none. I've been in this industry. Exactly.
And how much does it cost you and your agents because you're a part of LPT?
0.
It is free 99.
Free 99s for me.
I love free 99. That's awesome. I love that. And I love the connection that you built with everyone here. Could you give everyone your phone number, please?
Yes. You can follow me on Instagram at Yvonne Reyes _realtor or 727-489-4211. Keep that one for the books.
And Mr. Armando, could you give everyone your contact information one more time if they're interested in your course, learning more about crypto, taking the go to making a house and then having it be out in space? Can you please give them your information as well?
Yeah, so Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, it's all Tall Guy Tycoon, TALLGUYTYCOON.
I hope that everyone is going to stick with us because we fortunately have one more session with these lovely people in my studio. We've talked everything crypto, stock, real estate, investing, being an LPT agent and team leader such as Yvonne Reyes with the Lux Group. And we are just really honored that we can bring the community of Tampa all of this great knowledge, business, entrepreneurship, and to show you that we have 4 people in the studio today networking cohesively in Tampa that are all thriving. We hope you download the iHeartRadio app and also find us on Facebook at LPT All-Star Radio Show, where you can replay now all of our shows. So if you did miss the first segment, don't fear. You can replay it on our Facebook page. We're going to pay some bills, and you can catch us after the break. Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, and today has been all things investments. We have talked about investing in your business, your team, your career with Yvonne Reyes with the Lux Group, who has built out an LPT real estate team. We have talked to Mr. Armando about the do's and do nots when it comes to crypto, and now kind of the future that he sees with real estate and NFTs and what he's doing in that space. And then my guy, Stefan, who's fixing and flipping and doing buy and holds and Airbnbs, and how he's taken kind of and merged also in some luxury car rental to be a one-stop shop in the Airbnb space. So this is our final segment with these guys, and we hope to leave you with more priceless information. Stefan, I do want to talk about the one-stop shop, right?
Okay.
So I know that people are doing this with boats, cars, everything, because we thrive off tourism here. And having an Airbnb, when you come from out of state, it's like you need that full manual, man. I want to know where to eat. I want to know where I can drive. I don't know, maybe I want a car, all that. Explain what you think is important for someone who's going to invest in Airbnbs to make it kind of full service, and why you.
Definitely, because whenever you come in, especially with a state like Florida, you're always gonna need like the complete package. Like if you go to Miami, you go to Tampa, wherever you're going to visit in Florida, you're gonna get a rental car and you're gonna get a hotel or Airbnb. So I feel like packaging it together, it just made sense. I mean, I came down here, I was getting Airbnbs, and because before I moved down here from New York, and I decided to jump in the car rental space because at the time during COVID, you couldn't even rent a car. It was almost impossible to find a car to rent. So I said, I reached out to a friend who was doing it in Atlanta. He gave me some advice, told me some pointers, and then I just kind of just.
Do you do Turo or do you do your own thing?
I have my own platform. It's tier1carrentals.com.
And so they rent directly from
you?
They
rent directly from me.
So do you get afraid that someone is just going to crash your car?
Yeah, no. Okay. Only because it's to me, everything should be rented. If I could rent the food in my fridge, I would. I mean, it's just a matter of just looking at it as in protecting your assets. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the client provides their own insurance. If they need to use the insurance that we supply, then we'll just, we'll give them a certain fee, and that's all.
What's the feedback you get from your Airbnb guests about having a full service situation available?
Oh no, they love it. They come. I get so many returning clients because I'm going to come directly to you. It's easy. We deliver your cars to you. We just make it completely just convenient.
I love that. Mr. Armando, I heard from a birdie that you have a course.
Yeah, I do have an investment course, stocks, crypto, and a few other things. It's a link in my bio. If you go to my Instagram, any other platform, there's a link there. And if you click the link, it'll take you to the webpage.
And Yvonne, you have tried out this course.
I sure have. Okay.
And so Armando, explain who the course is for and who you're trying to target with the course.
So like we talked about, is that crypto, especially even stocks, it's not as much as crypto, but it's still, things you have to be mindful of, right? And then we talked about real estate, like we talked about buying real estate in South St. Pete, which could be a shady area, right? But that's where the profit's at. That's where you can make the most money at. And that's what crypto and stocks are. Crypto is a bad neighborhood, right? It's new, it's unregulated, it's there, but that's where we can make the most profits at if we follow the right set of rules. And that's what that course tries to teach you.
So you can be brand new and do your course.
Exactly.
Okay, and then maybe even seasoned or had a bad experience and do your course.
Exactly. Yeah, so normally what happens to people that take my course is they get into crypto, they make horrible mistakes, and stocks too, because it's a stock and crypto course. Make horrible mistakes, then they I don't know what happened. And they come to my course, and my course teaches them how to stop those mistakes in the future and how they made the mistakes in the first place. And then it corrects them, and then they move forward and be a lot better investors.
Well, I'm glad that you guys gave all the listeners all these tips and tricks. I'm coming to you, Miss Yvonne, and I want to talk about kind of the power of networking. And we talk a lot about team lead stuff, what we're going to do with our teams, how we can help each other build our business. And today we wouldn't be able to give the listeners all the knowledge from Armando and Stefan had you not kind of been that catalyst and connector. So why is networking important, and what are you going to do with that in 2023 for your real estate team?
Oh, man. It's definitely up from here. When you sit back and you really look, from where I was and where my vision is wanting to go, and then you really sit and put the pieces together on who you've met and why you've met, right? Everything happens for a reason. So going into 2023, man, listen, they didn't know each other. But guess what? I know they're going to connect and do businesses. And when I tell you, I have so many more amazing relationships. And now I'm just going to be more intentional on building those relationships and getting us all in one room together.
I think what's really cool, too, is you got a little emotional on the last show.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's really cool just to see you kind of come out of your shell, really define who you are, find that purpose in real estate. And the one thing I can honestly say that I do know about Yvonne is she really does support other people. from day one of me meeting her. She was in here being such a cheerleader, and it is really refreshing, Yvonne, to see other women in this industry that you can coexist with. And for all the listeners out there, Yvonne and I are like bipolar opposites, right? Yvonne is going to be dressed up, high-heeled to the nine, and I own like every color of Nikes you can imagine. And so it's going to be interesting because we have some collab stuff that we're collabing on.
Oh, man. You guys need to stay tuned. Listen, if you haven't joined LPT, you guys are missing the train. You guys better call me, DM me, because, yeah.
It's going to be crazy because I think that me, Yvonne, and one of our other LPT agents, we'll give a shout out to our boy Matt Buckley in Orlando.
Yes.
We're going to do some mastermind stuff in Bradenton, St. Pete area in March. And what we really want to show, Yvonne, is how we all three can network and none of our businesses coexist. And we're in the same ecosystem of a downline.
Yep. Exactly.
Which you and me coming from the EXP space, not to be a hater, just pointing out the reality, is that you really couldn't do that with EXP.
Nope, you had to leave your business, leave everything behind for 6 months, and then do it.
And also with EXP, we weren't really allowed to work together if we were in separate downlines either.
Correct.
And at LPT, we can.
Yes.
So refreshing.
Come all.
I know, right? I'm coming back to you, Mr. Stefan, for final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you really want to leave the listeners with to just give them that one final gem?
In just
life, business, real estate,
business.
just being Stefan.
Just keep going. Just keep going, because it's going to get harder before it gets easier, and just keep going. Don't give up.
When there is a breakdown, there's a breakthrough, right?
Yeah. Just keep going. If like once you stop, that's it. You'll never know. So just keep going.
And if anyone wants to get in touch with you, could you give them your contact information?
Yeah, so Instagram is Steph_Lotta, LOTTA_properties. And my phone number is 347-348-3755.
And my guy, Armando, you have taught me some things. I have learned a couple things today, and I really do appreciate that because I'm pretty intelligent. And so sometimes it's hard for me because I'm like, dude, I really want to be a student of the game. And it's hard to find spaces to do that in. So I'm following what you told me today, and I definitely am going to check out your page. Leave the listeners with some final thoughts. Anything that you want to say that you feel is relevant to today, or just that you want to share with the world?
I just want to say the same thing. I mean, as Stefan said, it's just, just keep going, right? Because, like I was broke at 32. I was a multimillionaire by 35. So that is just, in that small amount of time, you could change your life completely, but you got to keep pushing forward and you can't give up. Right. So, like I said, I agree with you 100%.
I think what's cool is just to seeing you piggyback off of him and then also really point out the failure in that interim. I think everybody wants to talk about success all the time. I have money, I have a car, I have whatever. Well, what did you fail at? And I think when you're transparent and you're really a good teacher, you always talk about failures. Yeah. And I try to tell people here or this and that. They asked me the first show today, hey, do you want me to edit that? Because I said the wrong name. I'm like, no, I want it to be very raw, very real. I called the girl the wrong name, and that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate you today. Lots of wisdom and guidance for everyone out there, and even myself. And Yvonne, it's always a pleasure. Can you give your contact information?
Most definitely on Instagram, Yvonne Reyes _realtor. My phone number is 727-489-4211.
And Armando, give your contact information really quick.
So across all social media platforms, Tall Guy Tycoon, that's TALLGUYTYCOON. Tall Guy Tycoon.
And I want to thank all of our listeners out there. I have people every single week that call in. If you guys have things that you want to hear on the radio, please give me a call. It's 813-609-0229. If you're interested in LPT, reach out to Yvonne Reyes with the Lux Group. And obviously, Armando has a fabulous course that we've given you today. And Stefan is actively investing in real estate. We're so glad to give you this priceless information, drop some gems. We want to thank Robert Pulver and LPT Realty Real Estate Reimagined for making this possible. Unfortunately, we have to conclude today's show, but if you'd like to have these people back, also give me a shout. We want to give you the raw and real of real estate, business, and life. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. We hope this episode motivated and inspired you, and don't forget to rate and review us. Thanks again for listening. to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast with Betsy Tinervin.